welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a vibrant, steep, and absolutely fascinating journey into one of South Korea's most visually stunning destinations. If you're planning a trip to Busan, Gamcheon Culture Village is undoubtedly on your radar. But how do you actually navigate it without getting lost in the crowds, overwhelmed by the stairs, or, completely missing the best views? Well, think of this explainer as your ultimate survival guide, your strategic master plan for totally conquering Gamcheon. Okay, let's dive into this master plan for the day. First, we'll answer, is Gamcheon actually worth visiting? Then we'll map out the perfect half-day morning itinerary. After that, we'll look at express visits and rainy days, followed by building the perfect Busan day loop. Finally, we'll wrap up with some essential tips and must-sees.
All right, starting with Section 1. Is Gamcheon worth visiting? Managing expectations for Busan's brightest village.
Now let's address the elephant in the room right away. Is this just some crowded tourist trap, or is it genuinely worth hiking up all those steep stairs? The short answer? Yes, absolutely, but only if you go in with the right expectations. Take a look at this reality check from travel editor Ji-won Bae. She hit the nail on the head when she said, "The people who leave disappointed are usually the ones who did it in 20 minutes for one photo. Give it an hour and a coffee, and you will see why locals are fond of it, crowds and all." This is just incredibly important to keep in mind. The murals, the colors, those layered rooftop views, they're genuinely lovely. But if you treat the village like a quick photo op on a packed weekend, it's going to feel like one giant crowded queue. Just slow down, and it absolutely earns the trip. So what's the magic number to make sure you aren't rushing? 2 to 4. That's the definitive sweet spot in hours for a solid visit. Look, an hour is the bare minimum just to walk the main street and grab a coffee. But 3 to 4 hours, that allows you to actually wander. It gives you the time to follow a full route, hunt down that interactive stamp trail, and just linger over those sweeping views without constantly checking your watch. A half day covers it perfectly, and it sets up the rest of your day beautifully. Let's move on to Section 2, the half-day morning itinerary, where we'll see why timing is literally everything. Let's see how this builds, because starting right at opening time is your absolute best strategy to beat those massive coach tour groups. Picture your morning. You arrive right at 9:30 a.m. First stop, the information center to grab your standard map or the fun stamp map. Just 15 minutes later at 9:45 a.m., climb straight up to the famous Little Prince viewpoint. Seriously, do this early before the queue builds up and, honestly, before your legs realize exactly how many stairs there are. By 10:15 a.m., you're at the Sky Garden rooftop taking in incredible wide hillside views. Around 10:45, with the major sites out of the way, you can casually wander the mural alleys and those famously painted stairs with your camera ready. By 11:30 a.m., you've definitely earned a break. So grab a coffee or an early lunch at a rooftop cafe, soak in the vibe, and then take a slow, easy stroll back down to finish up your souvenir shopping. By 1 p.m., you're stepping onto a bus, leaving the village just as the midday crowds are really peaking. It's a flawless chronological plan, working right from the top of the village down to the bottom. Which brings us to Section 3, express visits and rainy days. Basically your contingency plans. We all know travel doesn't always go exactly as planned. So if you're pressed for time and literally only have 1 hour, you have to hit the highlights and ruthlessly skip the stamp trail. Here is the 1-hour express version. Step 1, head straight up to the Little Prince viewpoint for that signature photo you came for. Step 2, loop the main street to take in the murals and catch at least one rooftop view. And Step 3, grab a quick coffee or snack on the go and walk straight back down to the bus. It's fast, for sure, but it ensures you still experience the true visual essence of Gamcheon. Now keep in mind that weather heavily dictates your experience here. I mean, this is an incredibly stairs-heavy, entirely outdoor walk. If it's just light rain, you're fine. Grab an umbrella, watch your footing carefully on the uneven paving, and simply wait out any passing showers inside one of the many cafes. But a full monsoon downpour, that completely changes the whole shebang. The sweeping views flatten out under gray skies, the bright colors lose their pop, and those steep stairs become dangerously slippery. If it's pouring, honestly, pull the plug. Save it for another day and swap in an indoor Busan attraction like a museum or an aquarium. Moving to Section 4, the perfect Busan day loop. Let's put the puzzle together. We've mastered the morning, but let's zoom out a bit to see how this perfectly connects to the rest of your Busan adventure. Because Gamcheon works best in the morning, it leaves your afternoon totally wide open to pair with the coast and the markets. Here's the logic of a really neat full-day loop. You start your easy-paced morning at 9 a.m. in Gamcheon. By 1 p.m., you drop just 10 minutes downhill to Jogulchi Market and Beehive Square for an incredible fresh seafood lunch. Through the afternoon, roughly 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., you cross over to the coastal Itinerary village and take a stunning stroll on the Songdo Skywalk right on the water. Finally, from 6 p.m. onwards, you finish your day with dinner and those spectacular night lights at either Gwangali or Haeundae Beach. Just a quick note, if you're a day tripper coming down from Seoul on the KTX train, you'll have a bit less time on the ground. So definitely keep Gamcheon for the morning, but maybe pick just one or two of those afternoon stops. Oh, and if you don't want to handle the transport logistics yourself, booking a guided Busan tour is a fantastic option to string these exact spots together seamlessly. Finally, Section 5, Essential Tips and Must-Sees. Pro advice for the final polish. Consider this your crucial checklist for a totally smooth trip. First things first, you absolutely must wear proper shoes. Acknowledge the physical reality of this village. It's pretty much all steep slopes and the paving is very uneven. As we mentioned, aim for a weekday morning to dodge those massive coach crowds. Also, you're going to want to bring some actual cash. Many of the smaller shops and the information center where you buy the stamp map might not take foreign credit cards. Now, if you happen to visit later in the day, try to stick around for the half hour just before sunset for the absolute best, warmest light. And the crucial point here, please keep your voices down and don't block doorways. Real people live here, and respecting their neighborhood is paramount. To ensure your mental checklist is fully locked in, let's recap the absolute must-sees. Whatever you do, do not leave without seeing the Little Prince and Desert Fox viewpoint. It is the signature photo of the entire village. You also need to hit the Sky Garden rooftop for that sweeping view over the whole hillside. Definitely make time for the painted stairs and mural alleys to get the best ground-level photo spots. And finally, you just have to sit down at least one rooftop cafe to soak in the vibe with a nice cup of coffee. And this brilliantly illustrates our whole strategy, courtesy of transport writer Callum Reed. He says, do Gamcheon first thing, then the coast. If you leave it to the afternoon, you hit the biggest crowds in the harshest light, and you will be climbing stairs in the heat. Morning here, sea breeze later is the order that works. Tackling the steepest parts of your day when you're fresh and the weather is cool, that is literally the ultimate travel hack for Busan. Well, we've covered the routes, the reality checks, and the absolute best times to go. So knowing the secret of timing and structured pacing, how will you rewrite your Busan itinerary? Will you take the full leisurely morning, or are you plotting the ultimate one-hour express run? Whatever you choose, Gamcheon Culture Village is waiting to be explored. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy travels!